Hi everybody, welcome to Phase 1, Lesson 1 in Introduction to Energy. So, when we start looking at the concept of magic, which is one of the practices within witchcraft, which is part of the craft that we find within paganism itself, we start to look at energy because magic is just the manipulation or the accumulation of energy. See, everything in the world is energy, and it's been recognized as a fundamental force in various cultures and traditions all across the world. And I've put that so we are on page 13 here on the lesson, an introduction to energy. And for instance, in Asia, they'll speak about the chi, the life force energy that flows through the body's meridians, all of the way down to what we contemporarily would call psychic energy, which is the mental and spiritual energy driving our thoughts and our actions. Now, when we start looking at it from a scientific point of view, we need to understand that everything in the world is energy. Energy cannot be destroyed. It can be created, but it cannot be destroyed. It can, however, be changed. It can be displaced. It can be transmuted into another form, but it can never be destroyed. And as we walk around in our day-to-day life, we accumulate more and more and more energy. See, we are made at a subatomic level, we are made up of vibrating energy. This energy is named atoms, molecules, and particles. And these molecules, particles, and atoms are energetically and electrically charged. And it keeps on accumulating more and more energy as we walk around. And when we do something like the meditation, we are also working with energy. We are letting go of certain energy, but we're also breathing in energy. Now, what does happen is this energy can sometimes clog us. Let's say, for an instance, we're in a situation where a lot of the energy is very stressful and it's moving around at a certain frequency. We take that in. If you walk into a room where two people just had a massive argument or fight, you can feel the actual energy. Similarly, you will walk into a space that's extremely peaceful, that's maintained a very peaceful energy, and you can feel it. The thing is you take that energy home with you. You breathe it in, it attracts to your body, it sits in the auric field, which is an energetic field surrounding your body, and it actually goes out up to 4 meters around you. And all of that energy kind of sticks to it, and you're moving it around wherever you go. Now, if we do not let go of this energy from time to time, a lot of things can happen because it starts clogging up our natural energy and our chakra points where energy needs to enter and exit our body, because our bodies will say no to certain energy and it'll start making a clog. And when it starts doing that and it goes unchecked, it forms blocks. It hinders the natural flow of your body's energy, which then leads to various issues that includes energetic stagnation, where it feels you just in one place, like every day is just the very same thing, and it's like you can't take anything in anymore. Then physical fatigue. If energy isn't flowing properly in your bodies, it means that the atoms, the molecules, the particles aren't moving correctly either. Once that starts happening, you're going to have a physical fatigue. This can actually lead to illness. The other thing that can happen is the molecules in your brain starts getting stagnant or creates a blockage, and it causes a mental fogginess, and you will start beginning to become quite forgetful at times, or it's like you struggle to recall certain things. Then emotional turmoil, because the vibration won't be correct, the frequency that your body is supposed to be on won't be correct. You will feel in constant emotional turmoil. You might get angry, have mood swings, cry very easily, or just feel completely numb sometimes. And then, of course, you will have a struggle in doing magic, in manipulating other fields of energy, manipulating frequency, working with herbs and crystals, and you're going to struggle to actually feel the energy within it. Let's take, for instance, a crystal. If you hold a crystal in your hand, in the palm of your hand, and you just close your eyes for a minute and you just feel, you're going to start feeling that it's got a heartbeat. That is because a crystal is a natural living organism that is still continuously growing, especially if it's still a rough crystal. It'll grow about a millimeter over about 1,000 to 2,000 years, depending on the crystal. Some of them grow a little bit faster than others, but it still has a heartbeat. That's what's in a quartz watch as well. If you wear a watch, there's a little quartz crystal in there that pulses at exactly the 1 minute, the 1 second intervals. And that's actually what keeps the time of your watch, is that little quartz crystal in there. And it's the heartbeat of that crystal keeping that time, because that is the frequency that it will vibrate on and will pulse at. And every single crystal is different. Usually, as a rule of thumb, the lighter the crystal, the faster the pulse will be. The darker the crystal, the slower the pulse will be. That is the rule of thumb. There's exceptions to this rule, however. And that is an easy way to explain to you how energy works as well. Now, your body is supposed to pulse, and every organ is supposed to pulse at a certain frequency for a certain amount of second intervals the whole time. So if the energy gets clogged up or gets scrambled a bit or such, you'll start having difficulty. And that's also one of the things that cause illnesses within the body. And even taking a lot of alcohol in, for instance, that will clog up the energy, because it comes with a completely different frequency into your body, and it clogs up the energy within the liver as well, for instance. And that is just a basic idea of how energy works. So when we want to establish peace or abundance in our lives, we are trying to be on a certain frequency. And if you're all clogged up, you're going to struggle to get onto that frequency. So how do you recognize when you do have an excess of energy? Because that can happen as well. Just as what energy can clog us up, that happens when we have an excess of extra energy that we don't necessarily need. And too much energy is also not a good thing. It hinders the growth significantly within our lives. I'm so sorry, I'm constantly having to, have a little bit of a sip of something to drink. And I just speak a lot, get a bit of dry mouth here. So when we have too much energy, we'll feel, number one, very lightheaded. We might have a bit of an imbalance where you feel that your balance is a bit off, disorientation, and all of that shows to an excess of energy in your body. We are now on page 15 for anybody who would like to follow along. So the absence of these symptoms doesn't necessarily mean you're free from excess energy. The thing is we pick it up everywhere we go, and it actually takes a while to accumulate to the point where you've got active symptoms of it. So I'm a big believer of nip it in the bud. Nip it in the bud, do your grounding from time to time, release that excess energy, make sure your energy is flowing the correct way, up and down, up and down. So prevention is always better than curing, especially when it comes to energy, because the worse it gets, the more difficult it would be to actually release the energy and get everything to flow naturally again. Now, we're here at grounding, the key to energy release. Now, the process is called grounding, in which we release energy, and this will prevent energy buildup and potential blockages. It will restore your own balance and your stability. It will enhance energy flow and circulation and support overall well-being and also magical effectiveness. In short, using energy in your day-to-day life for healing purposes or for creating things like abundance or just for having a very clear mind, helping you study, anything like that. All of that is energy. So let's look at some grounding techniques. So the first one is visualization. So we're going to do the earth-based grounding exercise in a minute from now. But that would be to visualize all of the energy starting to flow. And since thought is energy as well, it's also a frequency. It will start moving the frequency through your body. It will start moving that energy. It will start moving the atoms, the particles, the atoms the whole time, up and down. And then, of course, breath work is very important. You can actually exhale a lot of energy. Think of it this way: if you're walking into a room and you can inhale it, you can also exhale it. That's what we did with our intro to meditation video as well, as we exhaled a lot of things. We've exhaled quite a lot of energy there. We let go of a lot of energy. It's not always completely enough, but after a few tries, even that breathing work could also help you release energy. Also set your intention and say, I'm doing this breathing exercise to release energy, in which case you'll do a little bit of a different visual than what we did there. You will see the energy in different parts of your body, visualize it and breathe that out. Then physically, we can stretch like we did in the previous exercise. Stretch and let go and move your hands and feet and actually get the energy within your body to start moving. That's why exercise could also be a good thing, going for a nice walk. That might help you ground as well, especially if you're not in a contained space and your focus is as you are walking, you are leaving behind any extra energy that you've accumulated. And then, of course, meditation. Now, there's one or two practices for the lazy witch as well, and we'll go through that in just a moment. But let's quickly look at the earth-based grounding exercise. So step one would be, so we're at the bottom of page 15, going into page 16. So just find a place where you feel very comfortable, either standing or seated with your back straight against the chair, straight against a wall, against a tree. I love doing earth-based grounding outside. So I'll usually be without my shoes, feet on the grass, maybe standing against a tree, or standing with my feet just on some soil, or sitting next to a tree or such, just connecting with the earth a little bit. So this will actually help you maintain a clear flow. When we start looking at the earth itself, the energy is very neutral, which means it can neutralize anything. The earth can actually break down anything. Think of the human body one day when we're not in our bodies anymore, it'll break that down. It might take years, but it can even break down plastic. It can break down anything and just neutralize it completely, and that will turn into earth as well. So place your soles of your feet on the ground, or if you're sitting, make sure that you're actually on the ground. This is very important in earth-based grounding. Now, I would like for you to close your eyes, and I'm going to just quickly help you through this grounding exercise. I'm going to guide you. If you're inside the house, that's okay. Just sit straight up on a chair, put your feet very firmly on the ground, and then relax them a bit, and just stay very upright. And we're going to do this. Now, close your eyes. Okay, I would like for you to take 3 deep, soothing breaths. Allow yourself to just relax and to center. So breathe in, 2, 3, out, 2, 3, and in, and out, and in, and out. Keep on breathing in and out. I would like for you to imagine roots starting to sprout from your feet. And with every breath that you give out, they are extending even more, deeper and deeper, whether that be through grass or concrete or bricks. They move down and down with each breath, deep into the earth. Imagine these roots growing stronger and deeper, anchoring you to the earth's energy. As you inhale, imagine white light entering your body through these roots. Suck them up, all of that white light, up and up, filling you up from your feet, up to the knees, up to the waist. Take another breath. Up to the chest area. Pull it up through your arms down to your hands. And lastly, up into your head space. Now hold your breath for a moment. Feel that energy spread throughout your body. Now you've pulled up all of this white light, and inside you will start to see dark fog that represents tension, stress, negative energy, clogs, any type of energy that you've picked up that you do not want in your body. Now, as you breathe out, see this fog entering the ground where the earth cycles it into that white light that just came out into you. So breathe it out from your head and your arms. From the torso, let it go down towards the roots. From the waist down to the knees. From the knees down to the feet. And then breathe all of that dark fog out from your roots back into the earth. Now when you're doing this yourself, you can repeat the last few steps over and over again. You can take in some more white light, exhale some more of the dark fog, as much as what is needed until you feel completely relaxed. Relaxation is a frequency, which means that you feel clear, that the energy is moving the correct way. Now when you feel ready, slowly open your eyes, take a deep breath in, feel refreshed, feel grounded. Take a moment, notice how you feel before you get up, and then you can go on with your day. Now, remember that grounding is a practice that, just like meditation, takes time and patience to develop. Be gentle with yourself. Don't hesitate to seek guidance if you need it. You're welcome to contact me. You're welcome to ask on the WhatsApp group as well. And just remember, earth-based grounding doesn't work for anybody. For everybody. That's why we do have here on page 16, we've got air-based grounding. We've got on page 17, we've got fire-based grounding. And Then we go into water-based spirit-based grounding. And then we do have traditional methods. So if you are a Reiki practitioner and you do have a Reiki certificate, then you could use some grounding with Reiki, and you can use some of the symbols to actually do that if you've been tuned. The other way to actually also ground very quickly is to take some salt and just put it underneath your tongue, or eat maybe like a salty crack or such. Salt neutralizes the body. It actually grounds the body almost instantly. That's not something you want to do continuously because it's not that effective, but it helps for short spaces of time. Think of that as a plaster just over the wound, but it does help. It does really help. Then, of course, for the very lazy, which once again, this can help and it helps very well, but you want to look at an actual grounding too, but you can look at wearing a grounding crystal, and that is something that you could wear permanently. It works usually best as a bracelet, but you can also have it as a pendant, especially if it's hanging a little lower right here, just underneath the chest bone here. If it's hanging around there, it's hanging over the solar plexus chakra, and that can help with grounding as well. So for that, I've got an entire list here on page 21. Personally, I love my obsidian. Petrified wood is a very nice one. Smoky quartz is probably my favorite on this list to help with grounding. Love moonstone. Actually, I love most of these, but those are the ones that's to me the easiest to get somewhere. It's not very expensive stones, and it is something that you can wear. You get nice small ones that you can wear underneath your clothing or just a little bracelet. So that will also help you stay grounded and not take in any extra energy, because those crystals, their frequency is a little bit slower, so they do actually draw in a lot of negativity and a lot of negative energy, and that will keep it from going into your body so much, and that will it'll also draw that energy from your body. Obviously, it's not something that you put it on and you're immediately grounded. You're going to need to wear it on a bit more of a permanent basis so that it can absorb the negativity and all of those particles and atoms and such over time. So yes, thank you for joining me on an intro of grounding, and this is something that we're going to use a lot as we're going through energy in the next following weeks. I know that it might seem a little bit like simple exercises, easy exercises in week 1, but as we move forward, it will get a little bit harder. But I hope you have a lovely day or a lovely evening whenever you're watching this video, and blessed be. And I'm going to see you again soon.